Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all feeling today? Good? Fantastic. So I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone to the 5th edition of the Global Art and Design Education Expo. We kickstarted the expo yesterday in Mumbai. We're here today in Chennai, and then tomorrow and the day after we'll be in Bangalore and Delhi. And when we do this event, we just really enjoy it because art and design is a kind of subject which is so exciting, so many different areas, so many different pathways that a student could choose. It's really very exciting. And I can clearly see that there's a distinct trend in our country where a lot more students are looking at art and design very seriously. And I think there is no limit when it comes to creativity, when it comes to how you can express yourself, letting your individual, if I can say, your individual self shine very clearly, and I think art does that. Design allows you to kind of do that. What we really like to focus on is trying to kind of bring to you some sessions which add a lot of value. And it's in that perspective that we spoke to Khushnam and we said, please do this session, and she happily agreed. So thank you, Khushnam, for making time for this session. She's going to be speaking a lot about design, technology, and business innovation. And she's also going to be exposing you a little bit to the way things happen at SCAD, which happens to be one of the leading art and design schools in the US. I would say even worldwide, not just the US. So a little bit about Khushnam. She's got a lot of experience in the industry, in graphic design, in illustration. She's completed a Master's in Fine Arts in Concept and Illustration Design from the Savannah College of Art and Design. She's been associated with them for quite some time, having worked with them in India, still looking at helping students from India, but she was also for some time based in Hong Kong, and now she's based in Atlanta, US. So she's actually made time in her busy schedule to come down to India, especially for an event like this, and also I guess she has some other activities planned. But thank you for making it here, Khushnam. And her areas of expertise, she's really good with Adobe Creative Cloud, motion graphics, photography, model making, concept design, illustration. So in that sense, she's really a multifaceted person, not just someone who's representing an art and design school, but she's also been in the industry, had a chance to exercise her own creative muscle, and done really well for herself. So over to you, Khushnam. I'm really looking forward to this session.
Thank you. That was my entire resume right there. Thank you so much, Amit. Can you all hear me? I tend to get too loud, so if I'm screaming at you guys, let me know and I'll tone it down. But I'm very, very excited to be here and meet you all. And I understand it's a Friday, afternoon. We're taking away your weekend time, but I'll try and make this session more worth your time, because what we want to do is, we've got a lot of careers in this creative field, in this realm of design, technology, research, and business innovation. There's a lot happening outside India and within India, but it's just that our awareness or exposure sometimes may not be up to the level of what's happening in North America or in Europe. So my take on this 35 minute session was to kind of introduce you to the type of careers that are there, so that you know what your options are when you're applying for higher education. Something that I always tell students is, it's good to be well informed before you decide your future. And it's not that once you decide on a path, you can never change it. That's not the case. You can always learn, progress, and there's no age to learning or having your education degree programs. It's fantastic. It's an upcoming field. It's an ever-evolving field. So I am truly happy to see you all here. It's just that I didn't hear a very enthusiastic hi. So I'm wondering, are you guys, healthy, happy? Have you eaten lunch? Are we all prepped to get today? Yes?
Yes.
Oh my God, ma'am, thank you. That just makes me realize how old I am. Does anyone know what SCAD stands for? Or did you hear Amit say it? Wonderful. I wish I could give everyone scholarship for just saying that. But it is the Savannah College of Art and Design. We are popularly known as SCAD because we are an institution that is based with multiple locations in North America and in Europe. And the reason is also we're not just trying to focus our strength and energy in the US, we connect with companies in Asia and in different continents around the world so that your chances and your opportunities are wider after graduation. I'm sure after the pandemic, everyone's realized that globalization has made us more tight-knit. We're very well connected throughout the world. And if I don't make sense to you guys, just nod no, and I'll try and simplify my words, okay? I want you to understand how incredibly amazing this field of design technology is and how we're integrating that with business entrepreneurship skills. So let's talk about design and technology first. I would strongly encourage everyone to come in and take a seat wherever there's gaps in between. We'd love for everyone to be fresh and, oh, thank you for adjusting. All right. Okay, I just want them to take a few seconds to settle down. Wonderful. Okay, so let's talk about design and technology first, and then we'll look at business innovation. And because I think videos and visual representations do a better job than me talking, I want to show you a quick glimpse into what's happening around the world.
The most exciting field to be in is design, because the designer has to think about people, about technology, about the activities that are taking place. It gives you the license to explore and investigate and to try to create a system that enhances life.
You're seeing technology and fashion really begin to influence each other in a way that we haven't seen in the past. I'd always wanted to pursue a career that was very analytical and very challenging. Fashion was that for me.
Visual effects taught me both aspects of being a technical person and being an artist.
Engineering and art and aesthetic and usability. All of those things are kind of like woven together. That's what makes a successful product.
Lots of people think they're not allowed to be creative, to be crazy, to be wild, to be wonderful. As soon as you let yourself do that, creativity is everywhere.
You're going to see that 99% a lot through this presentation because that's something we're so truly proud of. In a way, it's about us telling the world that we are preparing students not just for an education, but for their creative careers. And that's something I strongly encourage all of you today to explore and talk to universities and find out who's offering you the right kind of resources, the right technology, and collaboration with the industry. Because without networking and communication, your ideas will remain with you. It's very important to kind of put yourself out there with the industry. Let's take a quick look because very recently, over years and years of experience with students, we've kind of realized they do design courses for their undergrads, and then they end up taking MBAs for their grads. Now it's like, why would you do that? Why are you going into another degree field? But then we realized people come with that mindset where we think of design as just softwares, and then your soft skills are your management and marketing, which comes later on. Where there's a need, there's always a solution. So we actually have come up with this new school of business innovation that collaborates the entire thing together. So there will be, you'll hear me say a lot of programs that have the word marketing and management and branding in them, because that's how you succeed in the industrial world.
For more than 40 years, SCAD has continually reinvented itself, always and forever focused on the future. We changed the game for R&D with SCAD Pro, our innovation studio, where students work directly with the world's most valuable brands, from Amazon and Apple to Deloitte, Delta, and Bank of America. SCAD's buoyant partnerships with the professions are why SCAD grads have enjoyed a 99% employment rate for the last 4 years. And now, to ensure the continued preeminent career preparation of tomorrow's leaders in every sector of the global economy, SCAD invents again. I'm so pleased to announce the formation of the SCAD School of Business Innovation. Business has changed during the pandemic, but business schools have not. Products and services need SCAD innovation. Supply chains need SCAD innovation. Marketing and storytelling need SCAD innovation. SCAD is where the world's greatest companies recruit new talent. Welcome to the SCAD School of Business Innovation.
The School of Business Innovation at SCAD offers a diverse array of programs to prepare the next generation of creatives who will lead value-generating innovations in their fields.
That's why at SCAD we listen to and collaborate with top industry leaders to develop our programs. Our courses are founded on employer needs, designed to create professionals ready to meet the demands of the industry. Our assignments mirror professional practices and FutureCast business solutions.
All School of Business Innovation academic leaders have also been leaders in industry that hire our graduates. From research to actionable strategies, we help businesses reimagine the life cycle of their brands, products, and services through the lens of user-centered design thinking. We prepare our students to generate new sources of value to industry-leading enterprises.
At SCAD, we know that today's business leaders need to build innovation through digital transformation. While I was at CNN, I was a leader in digital content strategy. The need to define and drive next-generation digital strategies for business is essential for success. Transformation with a design mindset is how we ensure a sustainable future for businesses everywhere.
From partnering with Fortune 500 companies in the US to luxury corporations in Europe, our students develop diverse and global business perspectives. By learning the complexities of today's international business landscape, SCAD students are prepared to become the global business leaders of tomorrow. We transform students from dreamers into visionaries, ready to deliver change with a positive global impact.
From the fundamentals of business design and economics to brand management and social strategies, our programs inspire students to apply design principles to generate memorable experiences. We teach students to enhance existing methods, invent new practices, and to create opportunities that amplify value, productivity, and growth. The SCAD School of Business Innovation introduces new processes, products, brands, and services that affect positive change in businesses and in the world.
Oh, that didn't download properly. Well, but that makes sense, right? Because there's a lot happening in the tech, design, and creative thinking world. So we try and mix and amalgamate that into successful careers that you can then pursue for higher education. Are you guys with me on this? Is this making sense to you? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay. Well, does anyone know what STEM stands for?
Science, Technology, Engineering, Math.
Are you guys afraid of me? Am I scary? I want this to be a little interactive so I understand how I can share information and, you know, make this a more fruitful session for you guys. But I heard someone definitely say science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The reason why I bring this up is because when we look at education in the United States, there is an added bonus for programs that are then accredited or recognized with STEM, the 4 categories here. All right, when I say the word STEM, or when we hear about science, technology, engineering, and math, what kind of fields do you think or you assume would come in these categories? All right, we've got a strong crowd. So, well, technically, when we have students who apply for STEM, at least 10 years ago, they would always come with the vision of softwares or engineering or doing data analytics, political science, things like that. But I'm super, super happy to inform you all that design technology comes under STEM recognition and accreditation. And this is a huge added bonus for our international students. The reason is when the United States wants to get all of you there for education, they always give you 1 year to practice your program with internships or job opportunities with respective companies of those fields. But when that program is recognized with STEM, you have added 2 years to apply for that switch from a student visa to an international work visa permit in the United States. Now, imagine when there's an H-1B, which is your work permit visa, a lottery system where you have 1 attempt to get picked in that entire system versus 3 years to continue applying if you don't make it the first time. There's a lot of added bonus in that. I'm sure parents and students here must have heard this from your family members. When you're investing so much time, energy, and resources to go abroad, what's gonna be my return of investment, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, my parents would ask me all the time. They were like, we're sending you so far away, we're spending a bomb on your education. How do you think you're gonna pay your bills? What makes you realize that you're one of those creative people that will make it in the industry? I wasn't sure at that time, honestly. But with STEM recognized programs, you just have added time and you can tell your parents, hey, if it isn't the first time, I got 2 more years. That's fine. So there is a lot of added advantage when you have programs that are recognized with STEM.
When you hear the word STEM, what do you think about? Is it careers in science or engineering? What about skills like innovation, problem solving, and critical thinking? If your answer is yes to the second question, then you are in the right place. SCAD is proud to offer 17 STEM programs in areas like user experience design, architecture, industrial design, visual effects, interactive design and game development, and more. As an international student studying in one of our STEM programs, you will have the opportunity to develop skill sets and solve real-world problems for companies like Google, Disney, and BMW through SCAD Pro, the university's in-house innovation design studio. Additionally, when you graduate from SCAD, instead of just 1 year OPT or optional practical training, you may be eligible to extend STEM OPT 2 more years for a total of 3 years of internship or work experience in a STEM-related industry in the United States. So why is SCAD the perfect place to study a STEM program? Because at its core, STEM is innovation, creativity, design thinking, collaboration, and that's what SCAD does best.
Right, come in. The more the merrier. Okay, so when you walk back home today, I want you all to understand that STEM does not only relate to software engineering, mathematics courses, it has a lot to do with design, technology, research, okay? Now, one unique thing, when I talk about SCAD, the most asked question or frequently asked question for us is, what program do you think I should choose? It's up to you if you want to decide your future career. It's not my place to tell you, hey, take this program because that might suit you best, because I'm not even aware of what your skills are so far, okay? So I'm gonna share this one little pro tip. When you talk to universities today, don't ask them, what do you think I should pursue as a degree program? Instead, you tell us what your options are and we can guide you better. I understand we come with this frame of mind where we've been always taught that you will be told what you have to do in life. But the options now in the entire world within this realm of design technology is vast. So you guys have the option to choose a major or a program from all of these 100 different design fields. All right? I know it sounds like I'm giving everyone homework, but I do want you to familiarize yourself, understand what these fields have to offer, and then apply to the university that will provide you with the best career option. Okay? Yes? Yes. Good job. Okay. Another good thing is through that video, which was built in May this year, we've actually progressed from 17 to 21 STEM programs now at SCAD. That's kind of our motive, to help international students with additional time through these curriculums and programs. And trust me, it takes a while for the government to accredit them, recognize the curriculum, and then have them established for every university. But I am very, very happy to tell you that SCAD has 21 out of those 40 major programs, which is a huge success factor. So if you're looking in these fields of advertising and branding, of industrial design, which is, I know, very popularly known as product in India, industrial is a bigger umbrella in that sense. We have design management, furniture design, we have creative business leadership. So I'm sure I'm just throwing names at you guys right now, but I want you to understand what each of these fields have to offer, just so that you can make a better informed decision for the future. I'm going to talk very quickly or briefly about a few of these fields because I understand that now in India people are familiar with what advertising or graphic design means, but there are some majors and some names that have come up in the global world that are yet to hit our market here. So, bear with me for another 20 minutes. I'm going to walk you through very quickly through some of these programs, starting with user experience design. I know that now in the year 2020 to 2022, we've heard of this name constantly, UX, UI. I'm sure some of you are even interested to apply for these programs. So let me tell you a very quick story. About 12 years ago, Don Norman, the founder of UX design, came to SCAD and he initiated this plan with Google, saying that this is definitely going to be the future of design. And it's not just for design studios, but it's for all industries. Whether it's finance, healthcare, whether it's automobiles, every single company will need a user experience designer. So we have to prep them in order for them to be successful in the next 10 years. So our programs were developed with Google, which is why the highest recruitment numbers also come along with Google. But this is a field where they put the user's needs first. This is where you have to understand what your targeted audience in which market sector requires a service that will benefit or improve their life. So whether it's intelligent technology or clothing or fashion, automobiles, everybody requires that customer service, right? And I'm sure you guys understand how important it is now. When you talk on the phone with Airtel, you want them to listen to your queries. You don't want to listen to all the packages they offer. That's not customer service. You want them to solve your problem. And that's what user experience designers do. Immersive reality. By a show of hands, does anyone know what this field stands for?
It's like a VR.
It is. It is great that you're aware of it. I'm so happy to hear that. It is the next dimension of technology. It's something that's, you know how we say think outside the box? This is literally outside that dimensional box. So this is where we've encouraged our students and brought in resources and technology for them to work with AR, VR development and work with augmented reality. We've already processed Siri and Alexas on our phones, and it's only a few matter of years that everything's gonna be in the virtual world, right? How many of you have played that game, Pokemon Go? All right, well, that's augmented reality mixed with game development. And that's also an example for you to understand that design is never just like a one major specific thing, it's a collaboration of all critical creative thoughts. I'm sure you're familiar with advertising, graphic design, motion media design, but the reason I wanted to just briefly help you understand, and also parents, because when I initiated my career in these fields, people were worried, oh my God, she's gonna be one of those 60 percentile students who has no scope in medicine or engineering. But I do have to tell you, every industry requires branding. It's not just about creating logos, but creating campaigns with technology that we don't usually utilize with live action, okay? So understand that advertising, graphic design, even though it's very similar, they have very fine differences amongst them, and it's all about research, all about competitor analysis, figuring out how your brand strategy would work in a specific area or a market. When you have flying taxis for Uber in the United States, I'm sure you've heard of memes that that's not gonna happen in India because it's crazy figuring the traffic out here. So customizing your needs towards every market, that's the task for every user experience, graphic designer, advertising student. Animation, something that's very dear to my heart, and the most, or rather let me phrase this again, the highest paying job through the pandemic was animation, because the world was still, and our source of entertainment, film and TV, our website designs, everything started involving animation. So it's a career that is on the rise. It had a dip in the year 2014, but it's picked up immensely around the world. So whether you wish to study or you want to work with Marvels or DC Comics or whichever, like Walt Disney, Pixar studios, understand that animation students are also needed in companies like BMW, with Gucci, with Chanel, because it's not just that they're looking for fashion or automobile designers, they have to also up their branding and their websites using animation stuff. Visual effects. Now if you have, which I'm sure majority of you have seen Marvel movies, you know that things are not possible in the real world, and they come up with these ideas only because of the support of visual effects designers, right? We've never been to Mars in reality, but we have movies where we've planted the entire environment of Mars through pictures and through film and TV. So conceptualizing, learning these softwares, all of this can be utilized in so many categories and different industries. And that's something I want you all to understand, that it's not just the film and TV animation sector, it's across the world and across disciplines that you will have a job for visual effects or motion media designers. Interactive design and service design. Now, just like user experience hitting 10 years later in the market, I can assure you service design is something that's a step, or it's considered to be a step higher than user experience, because rather than just catering to one user's needs, service design connects the client's needs to the user's needs. So let me give you an example. Uber, actually. There's no car to its own name in the company, but they're a taxi service that provides you to be picked up from location A and dropped off to location B, just a service provider. We have Swiggies and Zomatos that will help connect you with the restaurants, right? These are all service plans, and that's a step higher because you're actually thinking about a holistic view for all of these interactive applications. You're connecting and you're understanding what the client needs versus also what the user needs. So it's all of that integration. You're trying and building a platform where your investment in terms of actual tangible products is nil, but you're providing that customer service to two different BCPs and BCG. Oh wait, B2Bs and B2Cs. I goofed up on that. All right. Social strategy and management. This is yet another field where people are not aware, but you know, when you talk about social media in our lives, it's with every brand and with every individual. There's no better way to connect a company or to establish your brand if not on social media in this day and age, right? How many of you are on Instagram or the Meta universe? All of you, okay. Excluding my mother, because she still doesn't want to learn about Facebook or Instagram. But social media and management is something where you combine your business and branding skills. You're coming up with solutions for companies or specific individual brands to create these very unique campaigns for their products. So yet again, when I keep telling words like management, all of these come under STEM recognition. So if you feel like you've honed your skills of graphic design or visual arts and you want to take it to the next level, then social strategy and management would be another step. Design for sustainability. Another field which I think is the calling need of the hour if we want our planet Earth to last another 100 to 200 years, right? Design for sustainability is not catered to any one segment. It's not just creating architecture or products, but it's actually coming up with energy-saving ideas for every industry, every company. In fact, at this moment, in the year 2022, companies want to hire specific architects that not just provide architectural solutions, but also sustainable solutions. So even when it comes to game technology, to services, to interaction design, there is a need for sustainable development. So whether it's products, whether it's automobiles, whether you see applications, there is a high rising market, and I can assure you in the next 5 to 10 years, this is going to be a compulsory addition to your departments in every industry. Even fintech, finances are integrating design for sustainability designers in their departments. Industrial design. I think we've brushed over it, and I know people are familiar about it, especially from Chennai and Bangalore. We get a lot of interest for product and industrial design. I think because science, math, and technology is very lucrative here. So when students look at industrial design, these are products that we use in our day-to-day lives. From the time we get up, we brush our teeth, the equipment we use, to our cell phones and technology, to the shoes we wear, to the cars we use, everything has an industrial designer's mind involved in it. And it's not just in the ideation stage, but all the way through implementation and execution. Industrial designers will come up with creative solutions for our day-to-day needs. So when I talk about industrial design, please also understand that it comes with an umbrella of product, of service, of technology and automobiles. So it's a wider range compared to just product design. We also have architecture, and the reason why I bring this up is particularly for architectural students who want to practice this field in the United States. It usually takes about 11 to 15 years of work experience for you to then have your license to practice architecture. And the same concept goes in every country. There are laws governing for those kind of licenses. With SCAD's curriculum, we've actually managed to shorten that time to 5 to 6 years because of the accreditation of MArch and the curriculum. So it's going to be a very rigorous course. If you are planning to pursue architecture, please know that it's going to take a minimum of 2.5 to 3 years for a master's program, and for an undergraduate it takes a minimum of 4 years. And so that helps you with 4 plus 3, it can help you get that license in as short as 7 years. Luxury and brand management. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry as of today. It's something where we ourselves have seen fashion, the industry change so much. There's no longer that perception that you need to build garments to be a fashion designer. You can get into marketing, forecasting trends, you can get into the management side of fashion industries, and that's exactly what we cater to as well at SCAD. There are so many options and so many programs within this realm of fashion, and I will tell you that if you are skilled in fibers or textiles, there's a program meant for that. If you're skilled with accessories or jewelry, there's a very separate program for that as well. Footwear design is jumping leaps and bounds right now, so if that's of interest to you, definitely look at universities that are offering those options. So all in all, I just want to show you why there's this great success rate for creative careers, because having a creative thought or coming up with unique solutions is only a skill that creative people can offer. And most times, I will tell you honestly, when our students come to SCAD, they're very shy, they're very introverted. Some of them are really afraid to pitch their ideas, but that's what I tell students. The software part, you can learn anywhere on the internet. That's not a hard skill. But what you're coming to learn is how to communicate your ideas to the industry. How do you network with the right people? How do you have real world experiences from the get-go and not just build hypothetical projects in your mind? So that's something we work continuously for our students.
My two greatest lessons that I learned from SCAD were learning the structure of the industry and the strong work ethic, but I think you really hone those skills at SCAD.
The idea of collaboration with all majors happens so naturally at SCAD that it really is an outlet of incredible bursts of energy.
SCAD is constantly staying very aware of industry trends and therefore kind of adapting curriculum to play into that and be able to have students be very prepared for real life after graduation.
Just seeing the depth, the amount of detail the students put in, and when you bring in people from all of those different disciplines together, it's really amazing what they can create.
It really opens a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities become real possibilities here.
SCAD offers lifelong support to alumni, whether you're seeking to advance in your creative career, launch your own venture, reconnect with your alumni network, or collaborate with SCAD.
It's that network of support and encouragement, which is so critical to the success of myself and other people coming through SCAD.
We are always top of mind with industry partners. So we connect with productions from Amazon, from Hulu, from NBC, CBS, you name it. These are lifelong relationships that you build here. We will always have your back and we will always look for ways to continue your success.
Because of SCAD, I got my dream job at Disney,
HBO Max,
Netflix,
IBM, Lenovo,
Pixar
Animation Studio.
I got my dream job at Epic Games.
That's something I always tell students. You have lifetime membership when you come to SCAD, because it's not just about learning skills and implementing them, but also connecting with your alums, because a lot of times alums end up coming back to the university to recruit more students. When they know the quality of education and the real world experiences that students have or are available with, they understand the quality that students will come with, right? Like when we talk about film and TV, there's this very new technology that's been initiated called the XR stages. And that's gonna change the entire world of green screen studios. And very few students have access to all this new technology. We've got XR stages on both campuses in Savannah and Atlanta, so companies want to come and recruit them even before they graduate because they're more aware of utilizing and working with this technology. So it's a lot of emphasis on careers. It's a hard-working field. If you come with the intention that design's gonna be fun and games, it will, but coming up with projects and real-world solutions is not easy, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I'm gonna say it is a very difficult program to mark your impression in. But if you feel you've got a creative bone in your body, then you should be really working towards that. So with that, I'm gonna end my session because we have to open the fair again. But just wanna ask, are there any questions or any doubts or feedbacks that you'd like to share? I don't think I did that a fabulous job to share information on these fields. I'm sure you have questions, and none of you want to ask them here. Okay, I will see you. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
About this creative at the starting point of your career, when you were choosing your degree, I believe you would have had every idea. I mean, like interest towards every field. So how did you manage to go on with this particular?
resilience. But no, more than that, I come from a background of engineers and doctors in my family. So for me to choose a field that was not related to those two majors was hard. And I'm going to be very honest with you, 20 years ago, there was not that much exposure to design. There were fields like graphics or animation or even advertising. But people were not credited to products or industrial design, motion media, or visual effects. So at that time, my go-to move was to try an industry where I get familiar to design skills or to kind of learn the basics. I ended up doing 5 months of nature sketching, which I don't know if it was an added skill or not, but I know that I was in the right direction. I wanted to pursue something that was creative. And then after that, as and when the industries realize the importance of creative thinking, they've come up with new technology and new programs. So eventually, like I said, it's not that you have to confine yourself to one industry. People switch their majors and industries all the time because there's new talent, there's new ideas coming up around us, right? And I did the same thing. I went with that momentum. I found out schools and opportunities that were offering a more varied program range just so that I could collaborate and learn from each other. Service design, user experience design, these were fields that were non-existential 10 years ago or 12 years ago. But now there's so much scope for it. Including my team and I, we take classes to learn about these majors as and when they're being generated. Like for example, there's a field called Business of Beauty and Fragrance. A lot of times we assume that it's us creating chemicals in laboratories to come up with fragrances or cosmetics, but that's not the case. The entire Asia market has been ranked #1 for beauty and fragrance departments. And coming up with solutions or ideas for those business strategies, that's a lucrative career. So that's where students are now building their momentum in that fashion industry. There's a lot of programs that are coming up as we speak. In fact, beyond these few programs that you've seen, there's artificial intelligence, there's robotics that's coming up. That's a whole different software game, So keep your, exposure going on with these industries because you never know how things change and how things progress. 10 years ago, there used to be a field called printmaking. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but printmaking has 0 jobs in the world as of today. So the entire program has been scrapped from all universities. So it's just with times we have to keep ourselves evolving, and that's something I particularly do in my personal life, is that I want to keep learning about new majors and keep myself relevant with industrial requirements. Hi.
Is there any program where we can learn about all of them a little bit and then choose the field that we want to do?
So when students come fresh out of high school, that's when they're applying for their undergraduate, which is your bachelor's degree. And particularly at that time, that's when we offer the first year as foundation studies for them to learn the basics, learn these skills, and understand what each program has to offer to then make a decision. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are here to apply for an undergraduate program, but my honest suggestion and personal recommendation would be to look at places or universities that offer you that plethora of options. Because it really adds value for you to try a field, have that hands-on experience to then realize if you're a good fit for it or not. But when it comes to a master's level, that's a little difficult. Because by that time, we're expecting you to know your basics in that set field. That being said, I'm not trying to push you down. If you want to change your degree of education or background, you're free to do that. But please know, if you come from a switch of an education or background, you will be expected to at least make extra efforts to learn the basics of the program that you wish to apply for. Okay, because you're coming at a master's level. You don't want to sit in a class and not know what the faculty is talking about, because they'll be talking in that advanced level of software and soft skills, right? So we want to make sure that you know the basics of the field, and whether you come from science, commerce, different backgrounds, you will have to take an initiative to learn a few things and then show your performance in that field.